Welcome! We've got a truly fascinating explainer lined up for you today. We're going to take a piece of profound ancient wisdom and literally translate it into a practical, everyday toolkit for modern living. We're looking at a sacred text from Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, specifically a Hukamnama, or divine command, from page 740. Now you might be thinking, how on earth does a centuries-old spiritual sermon apply to my crazy schedule today? Well, as you'll see, the human experience hasn't actually changed all that much. This text offers some incredibly sharp, actionable insights for navigating our super complex, fast-paced world.
If you're navigating the professional world right now, feeling stuck in an endless loop of stress and hustle probably resonates on a deeply personal level, right? We are constantly living in this relentless pressure cooker of deadlines, overflowing inboxes, and that unspoken expectation to just always be hustling. It's so easy to feel like you're sprinting on a treadmill, running at top speed but getting nowhere except closer to burnout. Okay, let's dive into this, because this is exactly where the timeless antidote of the Hukamnama steps in to totally disrupt that exhausting cycle.
The very first line of this sacred verse sets our entire foundation. It reads, "Within my heart, I meditate on the word of the Guru's teachings." Let's just pause and really absorb that for a second. Before we try to fix our careers or micromanage our relationships, the text tells us to look inward. Shifting our internal focus to higher wisdom is the absolute ultimate grounding mechanism. Think about how we usually start our mornings. We grab our phones, check our messages, and instantly let the outside chaos flood our minds. This verse challenges us to completely flip that script and start from a place of internal stillness and anchored wisdom instead.
Section 1. Finding your true community.
Once we have that internal anchor locked in, the text moves outward, asking us to take a really hard look at our environment. Because, honestly, no matter how much you meditate or try to ground yourself, the people you surround yourself with have an absolutely massive impact on your mental peace and your daily reality. The Guru offers a profound spiritual promise here. In the Saadh Sangat, the company of the holy, the cycle of birth and death is ended. In a strict spiritual sense, this refers to liberation from reincarnation. But let's look at how this incredible wisdom scales directly into the micro moments of our daily lives and our modern search for peace. Now, what's absolutely fascinating here is how we can map this literal ancient translation right onto our highly relatable modern experience. Think about the ultimate spiritual cycle of birth and death and compare that to the everyday cycles we feel totally trapped in, those exhausting loops of modern anxiety. You know the feeling, waking up dreading the day, pushing through on pure caffeine, crashing hard, and then doing it all over again. The text is telling us that being in the company of the holy, meaning surrounding ourselves with people of real integrity, kindness, and higher purpose, is the key to breaking these draining routines. Good company literally pulls us out of our downward spirals.
Section 2. Renouncing the inner thieves.
Building the right community is, for sure, only half the battle. We also have to do some serious internal housekeeping. And let's see how this builds into the concept of renouncing the inner thieves. These are the internal saboteurs, living rent-free in our minds, constantly messing with our work-life balance. The verse states with absolute clarity, "I have renounced sexual desire, anger, greed, and emotional attachment." The Guru isn't using vague, fluffy metaphors here. These are highly specific directives on what we have to actively identify and let go of if we actually want to experience harmony in our day-to-day lives. Let's break down these 4 vices so you can easily spot them when they inevitably pop up during your day. First up, unchecked desire. That's that constant chasing, the feeling that you'll only be happy when you finally get that next shiny thing or that specific job title. Next is anger. Seems obvious, but today it's so often disguised as self-righteousness or just being really snappy when we're stressed out. Then, greed. This isn't just about hoarding money. It's the refusal to share credit or hoarding resources and opportunities at work. And finally, emotional attachment. This one is tricky. It's when we tie our entire sense of self-worth to external things that are completely out of our control. And this brilliantly illustrates how these ancient thieves manifest today. Take the traditional concepts of anger and greed. In our everyday reality, they look like snapping at a colleague over a totally misunderstood email, stewing in workplace frustration, or buying into that endless toxic hustle for the next promotion where no salary bump ever feels like it's enough. These aren't just dusty philosophical concepts. They are the exact literal reasons you feel completely drained at 5 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Section 3. Actions over empty intentions. But, it's just not enough to know what to avoid.
True wisdom has to be practical. The Hukamnama brilliantly shifts the narrative from what we need to renounce to the proactive, positive steps we absolutely must take. We have to move from empty intentions into meaningful action. Just listen to the beautiful transition in this line. I've enshrined the Naam within myself with charity, true cleansing, and righteous conduct. The Naam, the divine name or essence, isn't just a fleeting thought locked away in your head. It's brought to life. It is literally enshrined through how you actually behave in the world. It's internal contemplation that forces an external, highly ethical way of living.
So, the crucial point is that we now have a clear, sequential roadmap for our daily schedules. Step 1 is charity. And in a modern professional sense, this isn't just about writing a check. It's being generous with your time. It's mentoring a junior colleague or freely sharing the credit for a really successful project. Step 2 is true cleansing. This means clearing your mental clutter, stepping away from the desk, letting go of a petty grudge, and resetting your mind so you aren't carrying yesterday's stress into today's meetings. And step 3 is righteous conduct. This is the ultimate test, right? Acting ethically when you are under immense pressure. It means actively choosing not to throw someone under the bus just to save your own reputation. That is exactly how you enshrine the divine in a Tuesday morning staff meeting.
Section 4. Carried across the chaos. As we begin to wrap up this explainer, we arrive at the ultimate reward of actually applying this wisdom. What really happens when we ground ourselves, find the right community, drop those toxic habits, and act with true integrity? The verse concludes with this incredibly peaceful realization. Says Nanak, I have contemplated this essence of reality, chanting the name of the Lord, I am carried across. Just sit with that phrase for a moment. Carried across. It doesn't say that chaos magically disappears. The deadlines, they'll still be there. The demanding clients will definitely still be there. But by internalizing this essence of reality, you are safely navigated through it all. You're no longer drowning in the stress. You are elevated above it, carried safely to the other side of your day with your peace completely intact.
This ancient wisdom is an amazingly practical toolkit, but of course it only works if you actually use it. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Look at your day right now. Look at your workload and your relationships. What specific attachment, whether that's the absolute need to be perfectly in control, maybe a grudge against the coworker, or tying your entire worth to a job title, what attachment will you choose to leave behind today to find your peace? Think about it, apply it, and just watch how it transforms your reality. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.